Hello again, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy Sunday. I am Gary Gonzo, and welcome to P1's coverage of Round 2 of Season 7 of the classic IndyCar Series, the winter racing season, as we come to you this afternoon from, yes, that is a very foggy Legacy Silverstone circuit for the Daily Express Indy Silverstone. Joining me in the booth, finished on the podium. It was the bottom step, but it was the podium of the IndyCar Oval Series on the iRacing service here last season, is Ryan Campbell for pinch hit duties today, as Andrew Wood, as we were kind of joking in the pre-race, is he's off to go see an NFL Jets game this afternoon. And I said, well, it's his loss. Literally, it's his loss. But we got Ryan here, who I know him mostly as an oval racer, but he does have a pretty healthy background in road racing, and will help guide us through a little bit with these IR05, IR09 chassis here on this very historic circuit that IndyCar has only raced on one time way back in the wee year of 1978. It's so long ago that there was only one Star Wars movie at the time. But it's Ryan Campbell. Ryan, welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. It's my first time calling a road course race, so I feel like there's no more fitting of a track as the legendary track Silverstone, and with all the high-speed corners that this track has to offer, I'm very excited for all the high-intensity action that we're going to see today.
34 seconds left to qualify right now. Dance is provisionally on the pole at the 120.6. Garrett second. Hoffman, Beer, and Manzotto rounding out your top five, as we are getting ready to go official here momentarily. And we will get you a starting lineup just as quickly. IndyCar has only visited Silverstone way back, like I said, 1978. It was under the USAC Champ Car Series. It was scheduled as a two-part weekend doubleheader in the UK to kind of expand Champ Car's reach into the European market. And that doubleheader included Brands Hatch race. USAC raced here in October of 78. The race was originally scheduled for 52 laps, but was ended early due to rain. The race was on the pole. Only 16 cars took the green flag, but Danny Angaias won the pole at the time of 1:41.072. So as you see, they're a little bit slower than what we're qualifying here today on roughly the same course. The list of lap leaders in the race includes 17 Indy 500 wins and reads like an IndyCar Hall of Fame member list. Not just Angaias, but Al Unser Sr., Gordon Johncock, Uncle Bobby, Rick Mears, and A.J. Foyt all led laps. Foyt got the rain-shortened win, his second of only two IndyCar road course wins, with Mears and eventual national champion Tom Snever rounding out the podium. Talk about additional names of the Hall of Fame. And also rounding out the top five was Gordon Johncock and Johnny Rutherford. So there you go. It was a big event. Unfortunately, it just wasn't a very good race back when IndyCar first came here, and only came here in 1978. Here is today's starting lineup for your Daily Express Silverstone. And you see Dance and Garrett on row 1, Hoffman and Beer row 2, Manzotto Styles row 3, Stum and Sadler on row 4, McEwen and Aiken back on row 5. Pasquini and Barcanau on Barnicow, on row 6. Marcomini, and we were trying to determine if that's the right way. And again, if we're butchering it, we're very, very sorry in advance, Mateus. He's on row 7. Rodriguez should come up and join him on that row, and Wareham will be back on row 8. Only 15 cars signing up today, but that's okay. We are on the cusp of the holidays. Good to have everyone here for round 2 of the Winter Series. Kind of a for-fun series, filling in between the last CIS regular season and this CIS regular season coming up next year. We are getting ready to go green as we are on the short parade lap here. Pace car should be pulling off. Weather conditions coming off your screen. Here we go, getting ready to go racing 32 laps or 1 hour here at Legacy Silverstone. Here we go, and everyone does not spin the wheels like we did last time. And Dan storming off into turn 1. Oh, we got a car going off.
We have a spin.
And two spins. The 77. Markamini, Markewen, he's on his lid. He's going to have to tow. The Gian Hoffman also went off. He's going to need a new nose. Andrew Aiken, it's coming back on the race course. Where's he going? He's going to spin out. He's going to turn it around. There we go. Fortunately, no track cams from Whiplash for Legacy Silverstone, so we will make do with the default cam set. Not the best angles, but we want to thank Whiplash for continuing to support us. Here's your track map.
Dramatic start there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Four cars, I believe, spun. And there's two more. It looks like Markamoni, he goes around. He's getting it back going now, but he had a little excursion on this opening lap as well.
Yeah, he's had a rough opening lap there. But first lap times coming in. Look at all the debris getting kicked up. That is new with the service.
With that debris being kicked up, remember, it does affect the driver's grip. So just one extra thing for the drivers to have in the back of their mind as we come to these road courses, as it's a lot more prevalent of marbles getting onto the racing line, that it does affect their grip a little bit.
It is Dance, Garrett, Beer, your top three as we're starting to settle in, but Beer is under attack from Styles. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. Styles in that purple and Dayglow green, Dayglow yellow. Very reminiscent to kind of the Buddy Lazier's IndyCar. And then Pavel Beer in our own version of the yellow submarine. Right behind him is also a battle between Stadler and Manzato. Again, we see Cameron Dance as he goes off track, coming back on the track, kicking up a rooster tail worth of grass from the tarmac. This is turn 7 right here. And again, I'm not a big, I am a Formula One, casual Formula One fan. I am not a big follower of Formula One, so I don't know the Formula One circuits as I normally do the IndyCar circuits. Or IndyCar history for that matter. You kind of got the lesson on IndyCar history just before the green flag here. That's why we have a track map up for people not familiar with this configuration. Look at all of the debris.
Wow. It's like a sand pit in the middle of the racing line.
Now, one of these days, maybe on the service they'll update it, is that when you run over the debris, you'll puncture a tire. But it doesn't look like that is that type of debris here offline. It looks like it might just be grass and dirt. But in terms of tire punctures with debris on the racetrack on road courses, I mean, it's a real concern, especially when there's rocks involved from the the sand traps and whatnot, they can puncture a tire. You know that in real life. You do work for a team. I mean, the concern of on-road courses of picking up debris is more so than even on an oval, right?
A little bit. Oval, it's more wing-on-wing damage, I would say, because the speeds are so much higher for the most part. But on road courses, once you get offline and you pick up those marbles and you do risk cutting down a tire, but you also just lose exponential amount of grip, and it almost always leads to a spin, and it's so hard to see when you're going so fast in a car. It usually isn't as dramatic as we're seeing here with the rooster tail and sim. It's just the marbles build up over the time of the race, and if there's no yellows and no track sweeping, once you get it on those tires, it takes a couple of laps to really get your grip back to where you want it to be.
This is, of course, Silverstone circuit over in the UK. Did you ever get a chance to do a flyaway race in another country?
Just Canada.
That doesn't count. I guess it does count. I mean, you still have to take your passport, I guess, but close enough, yeah.
I still speak it. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because they also speak English over in England.
I'm pretty sure it'll be the English that argue that we don't speak the proper English. Here's Pavel Beer looking to the inside. Excuse me. That's Jack Stiles looking to the inside of Beer. They're through 8, 9, and 10 complex. And we're completing lap 6 now. Coming to lap 7 here very shortly. Of 32. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the CIS Winter Series and respect the stream, please do us a huge solid, as we are a new channel. The best thing you could do for us is subscribe. The next best thing you can do for us is like the video, and that will help other IndyCar fans find this video through the algorithm. Don't forget to smash that like button and ring the bell so don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. And we got a short week of them, as we are, of course, coming up to Christmas. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, the IndyCar Open Series Week 2 at, we're going to be at Michigan, I believe there. Are you going to be in that one at all? How's your open setup for Michigan? Oh, here goes to the outside of Beer. Styles had a good run
there as well.
Yeah.
By Beer. That's not the first time in these past 2 laps. I've seen 3 lockups and a little bit of a loose moment out of Pavel Beer. Now, while he's still ahead, that is really abusing these tires early in a run, and that could really hurt him in the long term with all the tire degradation this could cause.
There's your gaps between positions. Dance off to a 2.5 second lead. Beer holding off Styles, and the Manzato Stadler battle right behind him for 5th is the just as close. In fact, those are the 2 closest on the racetrack. Let's go back to that one real quick. But I think, let's go back to the Styles. I think he's going to take a stab at him here, coming down the straight.
Got the run.
Not enough momentum to get the nose in there. So 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, week 2 of the IndyCar Open Series, brought to you by Mark Murphy. Here's a good pass to the inside. Now outside going into, this is 11. And he gets the pass done. He just waited and waited and waited and finally got the position and on a fast corner, but to the inside, fighting back. Beer.
They make a little bit of
contact.
Beer on the outside, contact again.
Oh,
and we have a spin.
Styles around.
Styles spins.
And he gets out of the racing line, but rejoins it, but loses 3 positions. Doesn't look like any damage on Beer's car, though. If he did, we do have a fast repair. This is a bit of a more casual, fun league for the winter. Only 6 rounds. This is round 2. Next round is round 3 at Legacy Charlotte for the Visionaire 500. A race I actually went to back in the day. But now that battle for 4th is kind of now a 3-car battle. Stadler has a position. Manzada there. Sturm is actually up into 6th. And he's starting to gain on that battle. Styles now back to 7th. And again, don't adjust your computer screens, your phone screens, your TV screens. This is London fog. And here are your race conditions. 66 degrees ambient, 71 degrees track temperature. There you see the humidity, indicative of what the fog situation is. 99.8% humidity. Back up front, Dance now 2.7 second lead over Garrett as he's beginning to pull away, looking to get that 2nd straight win in the series to start the season off. Of course, Cameron got the win 2 weeks ago at Texas in the late stages over Rafi Rodriguez, passing him in the late stages. And to win the timed race, hopefully don't run into a timed race today. We were on lap 9 of 32, almost a third of the way through our first road course race of the season. Do not forget our signature broadcast on Tuesday being pushed back to Friday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern on Friday, the IndyCar Oval Series. Week 2. Round 2 at Fontana. First round of the P1 Triple Crown Challenge as Dance gets a little squirrely there on corner exit of 13. But that is our week. It is kicked off here with the CIS, then the Open Series Monday, and then the Oval Series on Friday for this holiday week. Happy winter to those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. Happy summer to those of you in the Southern Hemisphere.
Something I do want to point out with the weather as well is we have wind coming from the south at 18 miles per hour. So high winds will be affecting the cars today, and that could prove difficult in some of the corners where you get that side wind, that crosswind. It could help you spin the rears out. Something else that these drivers will have to push through. And
these cars, as you can see, from when we cover normally the IR18s or even the DW12s, these guys are the IR05s. Very boxy. Very boxy. They weren't really meant to be very aero-efficient cars. Had a lot of downforce for the ovals that they primarily were born on.
Yeah, I must say, after driving this car around the road course, it does not feel like you would expect an open-wheel road course car to feel like. It just has, even the power band, the way that the torque works on this car, and the way that even the motor sounds, it just feels odd. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. It's just something unique that most drivers have never really... I can't compare it to really any other car that I've raced.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. It is pretty unique. And it is legacy status, so they're not putting any more work into it to kind of improve things. So basically, what these guys have, even though this is an open setup league, is what they have is kind of what they have in terms of how the car is going to behave in a tire model. So Pavel Beer back to third now. Stadler fourth. and Zotto is 5th. Stadler up 4 spots. He is your biggest gainer. Along with Rafi Rodriguez, there he is, finished 2nd last race at Texas. He is currently up 4 spots to 10th. There's Evan Pasquini. Hopefully you're saying that right, Evan. He is currently in 8th. He's up 3 spots. Barnicow, he is in the American flag livery. He is currently 9th. He's up 3 spots as well. Art McEwen on pit road.
And I just saw what happened to him. Andrew Aiken, he spun out, and McEwen really didn't have anywhere to go and hit him, and he has damaged his front left tire.
Jack Stiles coming to pit road right now. Looks like a scheduled stop. I don't think he changed tires.
Definitely a fast pit stop.
Maybe he's just coming in for fuel, and maybe the conditions aren't really encouraging a lot of tire degradation. I don't know. But if that is a scheduled stop, then he's trying to undercut those in front of him. Let's see how well he could do. Jan Hoffman, he stopped to get a new nose, topped the tank off back and earlier in the race. And he was involved in that incident on the opening lap. He pitted on. Actually, Hoffman came in a lap 10. Aiken right now, pit road. He is currently coming out on the racetrack now, complete with his stop there. And the Dario Franchitti throwback livery. And he completed his stop at lap 12. It looks like one stop might just be the call of the day. Oh, Aiken, cool tires. Oh. And he just toes, so he's, yeah.
That was his second spin in a couple of laps, so I wonder if he may have had damage assisting him with those spins and may have deemed it too dangerous to drive.
So the first 9, top 9 right now, have not stopped for scheduled stops. Lap 13 of 32. This is round 2 of the CIS Winter Series. Cameron Dance is your points leader by virtue of winning the race last 2 weeks ago. You see all the debris he's kicking up 2 weeks ago at Texas. But we'll get more in the points here in round 3. But looking pretty good to extend that lead with a dominating performance so far here at the front. Has led so far from the green flag to lap 14. He has been your leader.
And he may be leading by over 4 seconds, but he is still going at 100%. That last lap, he was still 0.3 faster than Johnny Garrett in second.
Let's ride with them right here as we are heading out of turn 10 to 11. There's 11 right here. Here comes 12. And then a 13. Almost a double apex corner right here. Not quite. Here's 14. And then 15. And then in 16 right here where these markers are, and then the front straight. Hitting the start-finish line right after the exit of 16, and then the 1. And in the Formula One world, that's normally flat out, but you see how much less downforce these Indy cars produce. They have to lift through there. pretty much completed a full lap with our leader. That's how fast they go down around here.
I must say, watching a full lap of someone who truly knows this course like the back of their hand and has a setup that is working perfectly for them, it is just a beautiful thing to watch him use the most of the track on every corner, in those high-speed corners, just getting the most out of the car and seeing how the car rotates and just how it shifts the G-forces in the middle of the corners. It is truly, even in sim, it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Now, we missed Stadler moving his way up to third there. Stadler is now third. Pavel Beer fourth. Cesar Manzato fifth. And Sturm is back in sixth. And this whole battle is pretty much nose to tail, all separated by about a second and a half.
The pass between Stadler and Beer, it was Beer getting a little bit loose and losing probably about a second or two just out of the corner, and Stadler was able to capitalize on that mistake. And as we see Beer, he's hunting him down. He wants that position back.
I think we'll get a replay. Yep, there's what happened. Oh, and that was a really shady rejoin. Gotta watch out. That's just a replay of what happened there.
Beer is still hunting him down. Like I said, he wants that spot back. That last lap, Beer was 0.3 faster than the car ahead Stadler. So Beer, even though he got loose, he's still giving this everything he has for this position.
And Cameron Dance has the purple lap at a 1:20.5. Watching this battle now between Beer and Stadler. Stadler in third, Beer in fourth. And as they start the battle, that's going to allow Manzato there in fifth, there in the number 4, to get closer and closer and closer. He goes wide on that corner, trying for some clean air on those front wings.
Cameron Dance, I'd like to point out that his fast lap was on lap 15 on old tires.
Wow.
And was faster than his qualifying speed. He is learning this course every corner, every lap.
Oh, here comes Stadler. Garrett also on pit road right now. That's pretty amazing. Kind of half tank, worn tires, purple lap, and setting it, you know, in the middle of your stint, kind of when you need it the most.
Well, and even the fact that you're setting your qualifying pace, you're going 100% when you're leading by so much. You're just not letting up. You're not leaving any shadow of a doubt of who you want to be leading this race.
Now you see 25 seconds behind our leader is Beer and Dance. So you saw them through the fog, kicking up some debris.
Stadler's just getting going off pit road now. Just exiting the pit now. Did he have front wing damage?
He must have sped because it was a 46.8, and he's coming up to speed with cold tires.
And he spins. Oh,
Oh.
no.
Thankfully, he did it on the paved portion of the runoff, and there was an access road where he could rejoin the circuit. That's going to cost him some more time on his outlap. So still waiting for Dance, Beer, Manzato, Pasquini, and Rodriguez come to pit road. Everyone else is pitted. Here's a bunch of cars together, but not necessarily for track position. Barnacow, this is actually for position right here, 10th and 11th. Right behind him is P2 Pavel Beer and P3 Manzato. So they, Beer around and Manzato into him.
Oh. Pavel Beer, I believe that's the same corner he had his little incident earlier in this race.
And he has to come to pit road now. Manzato has to come to pit road. And that's going to open the door to Johnny Garrett to try to get those positions on him.
I think Pavel Beer will be devastated when he watches this back and learns that Stadler had a speeding penalty and he would have had that position and really didn't have to push it at all.
Yeah, he might not have been aware. There you see fast repair getting initiated. New wing. And down and away, he's done. Manzato now. Same thing for him. 20 of 32, so only 12 laps to go here, roughly. And 13, according to the ticker. And these guys no longer have a fast repair to fall back on for the remainder of this race, so they got to keep it straight and between the lines. Cameron Dance is still our leader, and he has not stopped. And neither is Evan Pasquini. Evan is currently in third. He is still yet to stop there. Everybody else has stopped. Dance is out to a 45-second lead now. The pit road delta it looks to be about 30 to 32 seconds. So right now, he can come to pit road, get full service done, and come out as your leader with plenty to spare.
Yes, Johnny Garrett, if we remember, he was second before he pit. He was about 5 seconds behind. Cameron Dance is still hitting lap times faster than Garrett. So if anything, Cameron Dance has been extending his lead while staying out on old tires. So for him, I'd run that tank till it's dry. No reason to pit if you keep hitting these lap times.
And that is Stadler getting around Pasquini. That is not for position. That is just track position. Pasquini lets him go. Pasquini might just be on his own race right now. Still waiting for our leader to pit. We don't think that they can go with a no-stopper. Although with a 46-second lead, there's a lot of clutching and coasting you can do here with 11 to go. Here is the schedule for the remainder of the season. Round 3, Charlotte. Round 4, then we'll head to Mosport, Canadian Tire, for the next road course race. Then round 5, Phoenix, and then we will wrap up in the right around Valentine's Day at Laguna Seca on the Corkscrew. So 10 to go. No pit for Dance one more time. It is Dance, Garrett, Pasquini, Styles, and Beer, your top 5. A lot of troubles in the mid-pack. Dance, Garrett, Pasquini have not used their fast repair. Neither is Hoffman. Hoffman getting a pass on Sturm there. Hoffman had to use his fast repair very early in the race in turn 1, lap 1. He gets around Sturm and move Hoffman now up to 6th. Sturm back to 7th. Your biggest gainer of the day right now is Pasquini in 3rd, currently up 8 spots as he passes the start-finish line in the pit straight again. And in front of Dance, lap traffic. Look at all that debris kicking up there. Going through 13, 14, 15. Do we see Dance make that turn down pit road? Nope. He's going to stay out. Let's ride with him. Let's see if he's doing a lot of lifting.
According to his lap times, he's not lifting much
No.
at all. Still has a blisteringly fast pace right now.
His last lap time with a 1:21.1, which is faster considerably still than the rest of the field.
Yeah. A battle that may commence before the end of this race is Pasquini and Styles. Styles is about 5 seconds behind now, but he has been seconds of lap. Every lap he's been at least a second a lap faster, so it's a battle that may come to fruition before the end of this race.
Yeah, I think it will. I think Pasquini is going to have to stop here. And here comes our leader, Dance on the pit road. And I'm wondering if Pasquini's coming with him. Yeah. Does he go for tires? You're right. 8 to go. He'll cross the start-finish line, click at the 7 to go here, I believe. No, let's see. No, it's going to be at 8 to go. So we were 9 coming to 8. I don't see him go up on jacks.
I don't see the air jack commencing. And frankly, with the lap times, I believe that's the right call.
And now do we see Pasquini make the turn down pit road as he is the last car not to pit? Or he's going to do the impossible and try to no-stop this thing. No, he's staying out. He's staying out. So is it a possible no-stopper for the 727 in 3rd spot, up 8. Started at 11th.
As I said, he is slower, so that would indicate to me that he's been trying this fuel save. Maybe with 1 lap to go, he does a quick splash and go to make it to the end, get that last 2.9 miles out of the car. Or maybe he does hit the impossible and run over 100 miles on a single tank of gas.
He is trying to save. We're riding with him right now. And he was about 10 miles per hour at least slower going into turn 7. And right now Styles is all over him. So I think he's going to try to make it on a no stop.
I have to say, if he makes that work, regardless of the position he finishes, that is a very impressive drive. Again, over 100 miles is the total race distance. And to get that all in one tank is very, very impressive.
Yeah, and there goes the battle.
Styles go right around him. Smartly, Pasquini knows that's not his race. Oh, no,
he's out of fuel. He's out. Oh no!
And
we're
I
right.
don't think he'll be able to make it to his pit stall.
No. Oh, what a shot, though. 7 to go.
And he is just pulling over, and he is going to tow. Unfortunate. His strategy was to get as short of a pit stop as possible, and he almost made it. He was at the pit entry.
Well, if you're just joining us, we got 7 to go here at Legacy Silverstone. This is P1's coverage of the CIS Winter Series, coming to you from Silverstone Circuits for the Daily Express Indy Silverstone. We completed now, or we just really only have 6 to go of a scheduled 32 laps. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for future iRacing content here on P1, which includes tomorrow's 7 o'clock Eastern IndyCar Oval Series going to Michigan. That will be Clindy and Mark Murphy on the call there. I might pop in the booth for that one. I've never called an Indy Open race on Mondays, so that maybe pop in for that one. But right now, your current leader is Cameron Dance. Johnny Garrett second, Jack Stiles third. Tell you what, if Jack brings it home in third, woo, look how foggy it is already. Wow, still even more fog. If Jack brings that home, he's had a very adventuresome race. We'll talk about his race if he gets to the interview room. Sure, he'll have some things to say. Johnny Garrett very quietly just moves up to second on a workmanlike performance. Keeping it clean and green and between the white lines, and sometimes that's all you need to do, really. If the strategy is to survive, just like the Netflix show says, drive to survive, is often a strategy in itself.
Yeah, sometimes just keeping it clean. As I'd like to point out, Pavel Beer is out of this race. If you recall earlier, he got in that little incident and lost his nose and had to use his fast repair. And on lap 25 in corner 1, he got loose and smacked the wall, and his day is done. He is out of the car.
Let's see what happened here. Pavel had in front of him Jack Stiles, I believe. And that, I don't know if it was for a battle for position, but he is in the draft. Maybe did he clip too much of the corner?
I think he took too much of the grass, and the grass caused him to get loose.
Oh, yeah, that was a big hit. That's a day done hit right there, yeah. So, a bad day for Beer. We started 4th. Here we come to, I believe, 4 to go. Cameron Dance looking for win number 2 to start this season off. Get himself a nice commanding points lead. We go to Charlotte next. Be the last kind of intermediate super speedway for the season. And the second of 3 ovals. Texas, Charlotte, and Phoenix. Next road course race we see will be Canadian Tire Motorsports Park here in a couple weeks, about a month from now. Only a 6-race schedule for the CIS Winter Series. And then shortly thereafter, the completion of the Winter Series will start their regular season, which is a year-long campaign that culminates in November with their Indy 500. And if you have not seen that race, you need to tune in the guys at Green Flag TV and check out that race. That was an extremely close finish, coming to 3 to go.
So we do have a close battle on track between Cesar Manzano and Strom.
Yep.
This could be a very, very Interesting finish with these two, as they will be fighting for the top 5.
I think I was mistaken earlier. I think in that incident that Beer went off. Beer was behind Stum. And Zotto, unfortunately, got into an incident with Beer and when he was in 4th spot, and has cost him some time and a possibly better finish. Cameron Dance still the lead. Ooh, big twitch for Dance there. Going through 13 and 14. Remember, he did not change tires. So, but he's still turning lap times in the 121 range. Back to 121 flat. 121.6 there. Go back to that battle between Manzato and Stum. And we got Manzato being called out in chat. Also in front of them is Barnacow. Barnacow is shown a lap down, though. And he is going to dive out of the way. Very good etiquette. Of course, hopefully drivers will remember that when he needs a break at the front with the lap traffic.
Barnow with a beautiful American flag scheme, showing some pride to the American series in a British, or the American car in the British circuit.
Kind of reminds you of, we got a white flag lap now underway for Cameron Dance. Kind of reminds you of the American flag livery that Ferrucci kind of drove for Foyt there in the 500. Final time through the set of turns 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess 6 is in there as well. Here comes turn 7. Yes, and I know they have names. And again, I'm not a big Formula One fan. I'm a casual Formula One fan. I don't know the circuit. Oh, no! Dance around! And then he's lucky he's got himself. Oh, and he comes to the right. Rights himself.
We're going to see a spin and win.
Just like Danny Sullivan does. And lucky for him, he has himself a 22-second lead. And I don't know if he's just trying to win or win with style now. But through the final set of corners, Cameron Dance says, you know, I've had a boring day at the front. I need a little excitement to get this win. And he comes to the checkered flag for win number 2 of this 6-race CIS winter schedule. And we'll say he wins with style. Johnny Garrett coming through the final set of corners. He's looking for the podium as well. He'll come home second as he locks up the right front. And Garrett finishes right where he starts. And Jack Stiles, he's had a very exciting race, and we will talk to him about it. He's going to be up 3 spots and come home on the bottom step of the podium. Jan Hoffman, he's going to come home 4th after fighting from a deep deficit for this race at a turn 1, lap 1 incident. And Manzato holds off Stum for 5th, and Stum is 6th. There we go. AUC Cameron Dance wins by 22 seconds over Johnny Garrett and Jack Stiles. That is your podium. Hoffman and Manzato round out your top 5. Stum, Rodriguez, Stadler, Barnicow, and Pasquini, your top 10. Marcamini, Beer, Atkins, McEwen, and Wareham complete the 15-car field. Robert, our race control, watching from above. Classified as 15th, but he won't give himself those points.
Cameron Dance, kind of reminiscent of his last lap, is doing donuts on the track with a beautiful spin and win.
And let's get some replays queued up here. All right. We'll bring up Jack Stiles here in the booth if he's available. I think, and also I could be wrong, Cameron Dance, he led every lap. He won the pole, won the race, and got the purple lap. So I believe Dance got the Grand Slam. And again, that's kind of a rare feat in itself. You don't see that very often. So that's a dominating day and still managed to spin and win.
I was going to say, and it's even more impressive when you spin out during a Grand Slam.
And let's check out who is waiting. There is Stiles. We'll bring him down into the booth and unmute him. So here we go. And we'll unmute him. And here he is, Jack Stiles. Welcome to the podium here, post-race interview. A bit of an adventuresome race for you today. Had a couple of spin-outs, a couple of close calls, but still managed to improve upon your sixth-place starting spot and get the bottom step of the podium. Talk about your race. It was not lacking for excitement.
No, it wasn't. Qualifying maybe wasn't as good as it could be. I could have done a little bit better. I think sixth is maybe not the best, but first time in the car since Long Beach Classic IndyCar last year. So getting on for sort of 8 months since I've driven the car. So I'm not too displeased with that. Obviously, the incident towards the start of the race, I probably should have left a little bit more room coming into Brooklyn. So I was caught a bit by surprise coming into Priory that Pavel was putting his nose where he was. And I think yeah, I could have left a little bit more room into Brooklands and maybe avoided the contact, but it is what it is. A little bit of damage, took the stop early, and yeah, drove back through the race and just tried to. It was basically 24 laps of quali laps.
Brian, you got any questions for our bottom step on the podium here for Jack?
I do. It appears on your pit stop you did not take tires. I don't see you go up on your. I never saw you go up on your air jacks. Is that correct? You never took tires, and if so, was that your plan going into this race, or were you feeling that the tires were not falling off as you were going deep into your run?
To be honest, there wasn't really a plan. It was discussed between myself, Cameron, and Harold for all of about half a second, and we kind of decided. We decided in the race. I felt as though the tire drop off wasn't enough. The cold tire effect with the cold track today was pretty bad. really struggled getting the grip into the tire. So it kind of took a few laps. So with an early pit stop, I kind of decided the tire wear's not going to be too bad. I think the warm up will be enough. They'll be warm. I'm not risking pit exit. I'm not risking the first couple of laps. I'll do it. And actually, it seemed to paid off. The tires held up. The last few laps maybe starting to feel a bit of drop off, but yeah, it felt okay.
Yeah, it was
Well,
the right.
yeah, that was the right call for sure. Do you got any follow-ups for him?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it appears to be the right call. We did see some incidents on that pit exit today. So
More than
just I
one.
just wanted to say, yeah, more than one. Great strategy call there, and great way to drive up into third. And I mean, really, those last 20 laps you had were immaculate pace and just a wonderful drive today.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't really say it better myself. That's yeah. I just gotta say thank you to Harold. We did a bit of setup tweaking on Friday night. The car kind of felt a little bit understeery. It kind of felt a bit better in the race, which was good. We discussed a few things, and yeah, massive shout out to all the sponsors, everyone at Orbit Drop Bear. Yeah, I'm hooked to this car again. I haven't driven it for a while. I'm hooked again. I'm looking forward to driving it more.
Well, hopefully we'll see you in Charlotte here in 2 weeks as we head back to the ovals for round 3 of 6 of the championship. But a good podium finish, and anytime you finish on the podium, you get those points in a championship that's this short. It kind of puts you in contention right off the bat. So another couple more performances like this, and we could be talking about you being a contender going into a championship Sunday in the final round at Laguna Seca if you decide to show up more. So congratulations on the bottom step. Good to have you here. I love the paint job on the car, kind of reminiscent of Buddy Lazier back in the classic IRL days. But good to have you here. And happy holidays. Have a good, well, it's summer down there now. You had the first day of summer. So enjoy the weather. And we'll catch you at the next one.
It's winter where I am. It's 5 degrees. I'm in the UK, so.
Oh, you're in the UK. Okay.
I'm in the UK, so it's 5 degrees.
I wasn't sure if you were with the Aussie crew because I know that they are all kind of together in that hybrid livery car you guys got there. But okay, well then stay warm then.
Yeah, no, I'm planning to. My PC definitely lets out enough heat. But Merry Christmas, guys! Thank you for the broadcast. I won't see you at Charlotte. I'll see you after that.
You got it. Jack Styles finishing third here today at Silverstone. So it's a home race, a home game for him today. Actually, if I paid attention to the flag on the side of his car, we go back to that. He does have the, I believe he does have the English flag on the side of his car. The little details on that some people put into these liveries is pretty. Yeah, there it is. All right, so now we'll move on to Johnny Garrett. Bring him down in here. And we'll unmute him. There he goes. Johnny, congratulations. P2 today. Kind of looks like a workman's-like performance for you. Kind of a drive to survive. Got through the first round, first turn carnage, and just put your car in a safe position to bring it home second all day long. My guess my only question for you, other than what excitement did you see out there around you, because you're kind of by yourself for a lot of the time, is we see in the replay that the debris was pretty bad out there. Was the debris pretty bad for you, or is it just a graphical thing and it didn't really impact the way the car performed?
Oh, hey, thanks a lot for having me, and thanks for the congratulations. You mean throughout the race, the debris, or
Yeah.
just during the incident?
Throughout the race, it looked like a lot of grass, a lot of gravel.
Well, I wish I could tell you that's what slowed me down. It was more debris of the mind. Just got in the way of myself. You know, sometimes you have this plan. Cameron's very consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and I tend not to be, so I'm trying to work on that. So my idea in the beginning was to get more and more consistent, and I guess I read my notes backwards because I did the opposite. So but yeah, I didn't see too many problems, and I'm not even on the best sim system, so I don't think the debris or graphics were any kind of a problem for me. It was just beating myself in the turns and trying to catch up. I was trying to make it interesting for you guys and at least keep Cameron on his toes a little bit for as long as I could, you know.
Well, as the commercial used to be back in the I think it was in the 80s, they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. I guess the mind is a terrible thing to overtake sometimes. So, yeah, I know often they say sometimes these races is mostly mental and less performance. But I guess that's kind of what the issue you had today. What was the mindset? Really, just it was the push, 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 and then it kind of turned into let's just bring this thing home.
Well, I never give up until the end, but I guess I was pushing too hard and I just kept overshooting, especially that last segment of turns, Thank goodness there isn't some kind of a penalty for too many incidents. I think I was still barely under the cusp there. But, I think we had a decent pit stop. I was trying to push the limiter on that, and but then I think my second out lap or so is where I spawned, or maybe even the first one. So there goes 6, 7, 8 seconds, and then again, so just kind of chasing my tail at that point.
So you did change tires on that stop of yours. I know a lot of people opted not to change tires because of the cold tire situation coming up to speed.
Yeah, I hadn't tried that during practice. My teammates at AeroX and stuff talked about it. I don't know if anybody else did not, but I did. Um, and what else could I have done? I think Cameron was on a different strategy. I think he must have taken full fuel
He
at the
was in a
beginning.
different area code, I think.
Yeah, well, that's usual, yeah. But I think he probably was on to something anyway, regardless of my own mistakes driving wise. I think I should have just put full fuel because
Yeah.
this thing, lighter fuel is faster. So I split it is what I did.
Gotcha. Brian, you got anything for Johnny here?
No, I just want to congratulate you. Even with your couple of your incidents and your off tracks, you still were able to come home in a very comfortable P2 by over 10 seconds. So just a great drive today.
Hey, thanks a lot. I'm sorry the sun wasn't out for you guys. I don't know if it's just my system, but I know when it's foggy, it sure creates sort of a gray broadcast.
Oh yeah, it was London fog was in full effect. So
Yeah,
yeah, we did it.
iRacing
We
does
couldn't
that.
bring for some reason we couldn't pack the sun with us, but we tried.
No. Well, hey, thanks for doing this, you guys. I can't wait to watch your broadcast, and we really appreciate you having us here. And uh, for a road course, I'm sure there weren't that many guys here, but for the ovals, I know a lot more guys show up. So,
Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors want to say hi to before we let you go?
I mean, CIS is an incredible league. My teammates at AeroX are great. Shout out to Cameron Dance, and he always does really well. I'll try to give you a little bit more competition next time, buddy. And yeah, thank you guys again, and I hope everybody has a great holiday too.
You got it, Johnny. Congrats on the podium. We'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you. I'll take it. Thank you.
All right, now let's get on up to Cameron, who let's bring him in. And we'll unmute, and there we go. And welcome, Cameron Dance, the winner of the Daily Express Indy Silverstone. And he just didn't win, but he won since he spun on the last lap there. Won with style, coming to the checkered flag. And I believe by all accounts, and also not only winning in style, but won with the Grand Slam, the pole, the win, the led all laps, and had the fastest lap. Congratulations, a dominant day. I don't really have any questions for you other than did it get boring up front at any time? I mean, did you have to do the spin? We appreciate the drama. I mean, what do you got for us? I mean, it was as dominant days go, you don't get much more dominant than that.
Yeah, not wrong. Yeah, no, it definitely didn't get boring up front as the car kept me honest the whole entire time. It was an absolute missile, don't get me wrong, but the thing had this very high tendency if I broke a little bit too late or drove it slightly wrong to try and kill me on the way into the corner. So yeah, it was keeping me on my toes the whole time, and it was pretty much just I had to drive it as hard as I could just to keep the car gripped up and pointing in the right direction. So yeah, it was quite fun. And then obviously on the last lap, I tried to burst my ego a little bit, and that didn't do well by spinning in club corners. So, yeah, it was a really, really good race at the end of the day. Pace was really good, so it's not been too bad of a day, obviously, to clean up the lot and get max points.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, first off, congrats on a frankly dominant performance today. And I do have one question for you. So we were talking strategy with the other two podium sitters, and I was just wondering, were you going into this race knowing you weren't going to take tires on this pit stop and take it as long as possible, or is that something that was more of a spur of the moment decision for you?
It was definitely what that half-second talk with Jack and Harold, and pretty much, yep, we're gonna do this, okay. Because typically I would have just like run the tank out, put new tires on, gone like about an hour, carried on. But just with the way that the track was so cold and the way that pit exit was so difficult with those cold tires as well, it was like the strategy works sometimes, and one of those days it was today where it works. So we were just like, yeah, whatever, let's do it and see how we go. And it seemed to help, especially on pit exit. Like it just made it so much more comfortable leaving the pit lane instead of wondering if you were going to be spitting go on the left hand side. So yeah, it was definitely one of those spur of the moments things, and it was just like it's one of those things where it's a low pressure situation as well, where you go, there's no pressure behind. Let's try and actually see if it works, just to help us potentially also find out if it actually does work heading into the regular season as well, since we're going to be racing here at some point. So that was another thing, using it as a test bed and just seeing what potential gain it might have.
Cameron, question for you. During the race, graphically, we saw a lot of debris out there. Was that something you experienced? We know the debris kind of was one of the latest updates that iRacing pushed out in their last round of updates. Kind of was that the I guess not necessarily a debris patch, but debris would now be an element on the racetrack. We saw a lot of it graphically. Did you see a lot of it as well, and did it impact you at all, or no?
I didn't really see it, to be honest. I know, like,
Okay.
if I like dropped two wheels off the road and into the grass, I saw like grass fly up, but it was like I don't really see like too much in the way of marbles or dirt all over the road or anything like that. I think the greyness of the track and also the fact that it was quite grey from the fog didn't help it either. But yeah, I didn't really notice it, and I didn't really notice like any sort of corners being too overly slippery from dirt or anything. So yeah, I'm not sure how much debris there actually was, but I'll have a look at the replay and see, and it'll be interesting to see how much there actually was. But marbles were definitely a factor, as I ran out wide a couple of times in club corner. I can definitely feel the understeer.
Well, 2 for 2 to start the season. A win on an oval, win on a road course. So showing your diversity. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to, starting off this season so successfully, and then kind of a jump to now kind of a little bit of a points lead going in the round 3. Anybody you want to say hi to, thank, before we let you go?
Yes, obviously shout out to the boys at Orbit Drop Me in Motorsport. Been doing some pretty good hard yards as well in this car to learn it and everything. So big ups to them, and obviously everybody in the car, the likes of Hybrid Tune, Demon Tweaks, Fight CRC, Sim Racing Bible, all of them, really, really good supporters. So yeah, thanks for having them on, and obviously cheers to everybody that turns up to make the racing possible, and you guys for the awesome broadcast.
Well, congratulations on the win. We'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully at Legacy Charlotte when we go back to the ovals again. But right now, a Grand Slam day, winning in style, and also now our points leader going in the round 3. Congratulations all array. A good way to go into the holiday break with all things dominant, so to speak, here at Silverstone. Congrats, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
And there we go. Well, not much to say when you dominate a day like that. You don't see it very often. The Grand Slam, you don't see it very often. You see it kind of in Formula One, kind of with the way that those cars are kind of overpowered with all that downforce and all the special aero they have. But you don't see it very often in IndyCar road racing, just because of how even everything is. But today, despite the parity and the kind of evenness of the cars on the sim, apparently the driver in the cockpit was all the difference, and Cameron put a whooping on everybody else right at the start, and dominated this day, led them all, won the pole, won the race, had the fastest lap, and once again did it in style. Any final thoughts, Brian, before we move on? I mean, you can't get much better than what he did today.
No, Cameron Dance, he should be ecstatic with his performance. This is one of those performances that, I mean, you just got to celebrate when you win by so much, when you lead every lap and you have the fastest lap, and then you manage to spin it and still win by over 20 seconds. It's just a dominating performance. We saw this race turn into a bit of a race of attrition, and all of our podium sitters had some sort of incident of one kind or another. So it wasn't so much about not making mistakes. It was more or less minimizing mistakes. And it turned into, frankly, a bit of a wild race there at times. And it was a lot of fun all the way through.
Well, thanks for joining us this week, Brian. Good to have you here for another broadcast. Don't know when we'll have you in for the next one, but always a pleasure to have you in the booth. And hope you have a happy holidays for the next couple weeks, and lots of rest. And, of course, I know you're preparing for the IndyCar Oval Series season, which will be kicking off, which we got week 2 here coming up very soon. So best of luck to you there.
Thank you. And thank you guys again for having me. I always love coming and doing these broadcasts. And it's my first road course race. So that was a very exciting experience, and I was glad I was able to do it.
We'll break the seal. We'll get you back in here for more road courses.
Can't wait.
So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Legacy Silverstone for the Daily Express Indy Silverstone is Cameron Dance, going 2 for 2 to start this season with a dominant day. And I said in style, because he had to spin just to kind of show how far out ahead it was. It's kind of like doing an additional flip off the diving board. You don't really have to. Well, he did it. Grand Slam victory here today at Silverstone for our points leader going into our next race. Johnny Garrett finishes second. Jack Stiles finishes third in his first race back in the series for a while. Always got to watch those guys. I said, I haven't driven the car in 8 months, and I'll pop back in this one and go finish on the podium. So watch out for Jack. If he gets behind the wheel for any more of these things, he might be a player for a win later this season. Join P1 again in 2 weeks for round 3 of season 7 of the CIS Winter Series as the teams and drivers head back to the USA and prepare to race the legacy scan of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Coverage begins around 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's an all-new league, all-new season, all-new time and channel. So as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe while you're at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders for other races that we have here on the P1 channel, including tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern from Michigan, the IndyCar Oval Series top split. Mark Murphy and Kyle Klidworth will be on the call there. And then our signature broadcast later this week of the IndyCar Oval Series, where we'll see Brian Campbell getting involved here. And I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a shootout at Fontana, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, special time this Friday for the holidays. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to click the bell, and we'll notify you when we go live. And 30 minutes before, track cam for this race. Well, we couldn't use our track cams because they don't have anything for Legacy Silverstone, but they've been great supporters of the channel, and that's Whiplash Sim Cams. You get the most out of your iRacing experience with the Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. Best cams on the service. Definitely, you want to check them out. So, for Brian Campbell, Andrew Wood, who's I don't know what the score of the Jets game is. We'll have to check that out here next here. Everyone at P1 and the CIS, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all, good night, and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here in 2 weeks at Legacy Charlotte for the next race of the CIS Winter Series. Happy Sunday, happy holidays. We'll see ya.